Why we all are Prince Zuko. I know we all aren't children of the Fire Lord or the heir to an entire empire, but I know that we all are children of somebody, and we all have our origin story. Like, I'm the child of 2 Chinese immigrants, so with that comes expectations, just like Zuko. And when we're young, we're so eager to meet those expectations, and Prince Zuko was too. All he wanted to do was make his dad proud of him, but instead he ends up disgracing himself, and his father punishes him by burning his face and banishing him to search for the Avatar. And I was never traumatized by my parents like that because they were really nice to me and they actually spoiled me a lot. But what I felt as a second generation immigrant in America was this pressure to not waste my parents' sacrifice to give me a better life. Like, I don't think it was really directly from my parents, but when I failed at something or I didn't meet my potential was the worst thing that I could do. After he is banished, Zuko becomes obsessed with finding the Avatar so that he can regain his honor. And what Zuko is really running away from here is shame. He'll do anything to regain his honor so he doesn't need to feel shame. He just wants to be this perfect little prince for his father and get his approval. I think we all can relate to Zuko because at a certain point in our lives, some sooner, some later, we fail to meet our potential and the illusion breaks. We are not perfect and we can fail. And I think failing to meet your potential or your expectations is something that a lot of people never heal from. It becomes this void that we keep trying to fill by chasing after things outside of us, and it becomes a wound that never closes. And that's what Zuko does. In the very first episode, the Avatar reawakens, and he spends the entire first season as the villain, relentlessly chasing after the Avatar because the only way to regain his honor is to capture him and get approval from his father. And Zuko just keeps failing over and over again. His honor is right within his grasp, and the Avatar will just slip beyond his fingertips. And I think why I relate to Zuko so much is whenever I failed, I didn't let myself feel the shame because I just got really angry. Like, I always thought I would be a firebender because I was mad all the time, ever since I was a little kid. And when I saw Zuko when I was like 11 watching this, and he was just mad all the time, I was like, yeah, that's me. I'm just mad all the time. Zuko's going through a lot. Like, he fails a lot. But his uncle Iroh is always there to give him some banger advice. And I wish I was paying attention when I was younger.
What turmoil?
Zuko, you must let go of your feelings of shame if you want your anger to go away.
But I don't feel any shame at all. I'm as proud as ever.
Prince Zuko, pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the only antidote to shame.
Isn't that like one of the most insane explanations of shame ever? That my anger and my pride were the source of my shame. And the more angry I was, the more ashamed of myself I was. And then I think Zuko goes through one of the sickest character redemption arcs that I've ever seen. He's caught in between letting go of his shame and listening to his uncle, and continue to go capture the Avatar and to regain his honor. And throughout this arc, there's a lot of signs that Zuko is making a lot of progress. But in the end, he ultimately cannot let go of his shame and decides to betray his uncle Iroh and kill the Avatar so that he can return to the Fire Nation, restoring his honor. And when Zuko returns to the Fire Nation, he gets everything that he's ever wanted. But he's angrier than ever at himself. He finally has his father's approval and his honor back, but he doesn't know what the difference between right or wrong anymore because he had to sacrifice and betray his uncle Iroh to get everything that he ever wanted. I spent so much of my life angry and running away from shame. I realized that even when I got everything I wanted and I felt like I don't need to feel shame anymore and I felt absolved of this guilt, I was still really angry. And I'm still angry at myself. And I realized the source of all of my anger is me. It's not being a perfect so-and-so or a winner or whatever and not being a failure. It's the fact that when you get what you want and you're an angry person, you're going to still be angry no matter what you have, because that void inside of you can never be filled by anything outside of you. The only person that can fill that void is you.
I've been through a lot in the past few years, and it's been hard. But I'm realizing that I had to go through all those things to learn the truth. I thought I had lost my honor, and that somehow my father could return it to me. But I know now that no one can give you your honor. It's something you earn for yourself by choosing to do what's right. All I want now is to play my part in ending this war. And I know my destiny is to help you restore balance to the world. I'm sorry for what I did to you. It was an accident. Fire can be dangerous and wild. So as a firebender, I need to be more careful and control my bending, so I don't hurt people unintentionally.